Hi, I'm Jamie from Culture Trip. Here's some advice on how to get the most out of your trip. Ditch the guidebook. Guidebooks can be a really useful way of informing your travels, but over-reliance on them can lead to a sapping of spontaneity from your trip. Try going without. Ask the locals where they think you should go, what you should eat. Their advice is going to be more up-to-date than your 2008 guidebook, and who's going to know better than the locals? Take your time. We all want to maximize our experience while traveling abroad. I know I've spent countless hours on the hoof trying to see everything and not really experiencing anything. Try slowing down the pace. Take a seat in a coffee shop for a couple of hours and just watch the world go by. You might find your experiences deepening and unfurling into something more lasting and memorable. Have some alone time. Traveling with friends can be fun, but it's also good to do a bit of exploring on your own. This way you're more likely to meet new people and maybe even mingle with the locals, so get out there and revel in your own company. Bring suitable luggage. Every trip is born different, so before you start packing, think about the nature of your travels. Are you honeymooning in the Maldives or backpacking in Sri Lanka? Think about yourself on the move. Would you be more comfortable with a big rolly suitcase or a useful little backpack that you could just throw on? Pack just the right amount. Now here we have to be really honest with ourselves. Packing is an art, and one that requires careful planning and ultimately sacrifice. Take that backpacking trip to Sri Lanka. Will you ever actually wear that full body banana costume and goose down ski jacket? But equally don't pack too little. A toothbrush and a pair of pants will only get you so far. Remember that travel adapter. We're all too familiar with that moment at the airport just as we pass through security when we think, I've forgotten something. It's my adapter. That sits at home atop a pile of other adapters that were purchased on similarly forgetful occasions. So next time, just make sure it's the first thing that you pack. Try to learn the lingo. You don't have to be an accomplished linguist to learn a few choice words from the language spoken at your destination. This small act will go a long way with the locals, who will appreciate your linguistic endeavours. Eat with the locals. We've all seen those tourist traps. They're those very expensive, busy restaurants right in the centre of cities, with waiters standing outside shouting at passers-by, luring them in. Now these places can be convenient, but they're not necessarily the cheapest nor the best places to sample the local cuisine. Culinary experiences can make or break a trip, so research the best bars, restaurants and food markets before you go. Tip: sometimes. Now there's no hard and fast rule as to how much you should tip. In some countries it's considered absolutely essential. In others, like Japan, it's even considered rude. If you ask me, it's generally good form to tip, but be sure to do some research in advance to avoid any red-faced fumbling of coinage. Be careful with that phone bill. We've all heard those horror stories of someone who's come back from holiday with a hefty phone bill. It doesn't have to be that way. Our top tip to prevent overspending is to get a local SIM and then surf away to your heart's content. Check visa requirements. So you've spent time, money and energy planning the trip of a lifetime. The plane lands, you get to border control and no visa. These things really happen. Before you go, be sure to check the entry requirements for your destination of choice. You may need to request a visa from an embassy. This can take extra time, so be sure to factor that into your planning. Hope that was helpful. What travelling advice would you give? Let us know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.